Hey guys, what's going on, Sir Gaming? Also known as Jack Game. Today, I'm in CSGO, my favorite game. I don't care what anyone says. And I realized something when I was playing this game. And it hurt my heart to say it, but it's that I suck with the AWP. And this video is how I'm getting better at the AWP progressively. Almost there to almost like a decent AWP. I'm not like amazing by any stretch, but I'm decent. And that's all that matters. So I'm gonna explain in this video how I got decent, some tips and tricks on how you get better with the AWP, and also some just basic CS tips, but mostly how to get better with the AWP. Let's get into it. And how we're gonna get into it is we're gonna start out of game first. So now we're out of game, we're at my desk, there's a recording, and basically there's a video down below with crosshair placement, and Adren does a great job of explaining crosshair placement and what you really should be looking for in crosshair placement. And I realized that with the AWP, there is no crosshair anywhere. Look at this, no crosshair. How do you know where to place your AWP crosshair? Well, I've been thinking about doing this for a while now, and I finally actually did it. And what I did was, if you just switch to a pistol, you can, I just took like a piece of duct tape, and I cut it off a little tiny piece like this. Compared to the screen, it's pretty tiny. And first, you're gonna want to just place it. Let me just place mine a little bit below it, and then like that. And make sure it's not like too sticky too. I like put it like I don't want to say it, but I like put it in my mouth to get a little bit of saliva so it wouldn't just stick to my screen. And the camera doesn't have a good view, but from my perspective, that thing, I drew a little line where the middle is. It does a pretty good job of showing where the middle of the crosshair is, and that really helps you out, because with the AWP, as soon as we switch back, there's nothing. So this is how you can, just a little thing, a little trick I am using, because look at, you wouldn't be able to just like shoot, like, I don't know, it shows you where you're shooting, it gives you info. Obviously no scopes, like you're not just gonna go no scoping people. Like, there's recoil, but I was trying to actually no-scope the person. But there's recoil, but up close and stuff, it just shows you. We're gonna go in-game now, and I'm gonna show you a little more about that crosshair placement. Now we're back in-game in CSGO, and obviously you guys can't see it, but I'm gonna put a little tiny dot about where my tape is to represent the tape and my little line. I don't know if I put the line in there, if I'm not lazy. And we're just gonna, so in Adren's video he describes it really well, where crosshair placement is coming out and like, you know, following the edges, instead of just, if I think he's there, instead of going like that, like just on there the whole time, because he could be here, 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 here. Obviously he can't like be here, whatever, but when you come around you want to follow the corner. You don't want to be like, because he could come out and get you, so you wanna kind of stay with this box, and then if he comes out, you can get him like that. See, no scopes. It worked that time. If you crouch, usually no scoping will work better. I've been doing that in death matches and stuff, or just getting my no scopes in. But I found this tip really helpful, and then I'm gonna go out of game again, and I'm gonna show you guys. That's like the first step. You're gonna want to play with this for about a day or two, probably 2 death matches, 3 death matches a day. I say I do. So I play with this about 3 or 4 times a day, just like this in like a nice bright scenario. Now we're gonna hop out of game real quick again, and I'm gonna show you the second step to like the Jack AWP program. All right. Now is the second step, step number 2 to the Jack AWP program. So you got your little thing, you got your dot, so you can see exactly where they are, right? And obviously this would never be condemned in competitive use. It's pretty cheap actually. Like Skadoodle wouldn't just put this on his screen, Guardian, all those guys. So I'm just getting to the second step because I've already passed them all once. So I'm gonna do it again. And the second step is now, if you turn off your lights, all you can see is a dot. And I know that my crosshair is somewhere above this. So now it's a little more challenging. You don't just get no scopes like crazy. Other thing I didn't mention in the first part, but make sure you can still see that middle part where your scope is. It really helps out. And yeah, it's a little more challenging. And so I guess that'd be the second step to this AWP program, I guess, of figuring out like your crosshair placement with an AWP, and ultimately it betters you in your AWP opping, because you know where your crosshair is, and like you aren't like focusing over here, but you think your crosshair's on this guy, but in reality your crosshair's all the way over there. So then when you come over, you have to go like this. Where if you have your crosshair there, you can just boom, dead. I obviously can't do it because I'm recording, but there you go. I did it, Mom. Alright, now to the third step. Right, now that we're back in game, we're gonna go to the third step of Jack's op program, which is I try to no-scope that guy. So now you see the box in the middle of the screen? We're gonna rip that off real quick. Alright, my box is gone. You take the box off and you go as best as you can, trying your dangest. That was pretty cool. Trying your hardest to just remember where your crosshair is. See, I'm still off. I hit him in the lenses. You know, there's obviously you gotta learn movement and all the other things, but this is just a little step that I thought would help people with their crosshair placements, and it's helped me out so far, so I have no complaints about it. Obviously, I haven't played with this stuff enough to just know where my crosshair is gonna be, but I have a good idea. Like, I obviously, like, I suck. Like, people are gonna probably, if they see this video, they're gonna make fun of me, like, oh, he's doing this, but he still sucks. It's because I just started doing this, really. I literally just come up with, like, some steps that I believe are gonna make me better, because I'm gonna know where my crosshair is. I'm gonna be able to actually no-scope that guy, probably. Hopefully the next time, I'll come up with a video later to update you guys with my progress and my crosshair placement awareness. But all you need is a tape and a pen and good monitor, and you can hopefully get better at opping. This is obviously just an idea, so if you don't expect to do this for any amount of time, you just get better. It's gonna take yourself, it's gonna take movement. It's not like you can just run around the map running. You obviously have to learn the movement part. You have to learn, like, if I'm gonna peek around this corner, I have to kind of stop. I have to, like, you know, there's other stuff to it than just knowing where the crosshair is, but the crosshair is the biggest thing for me, because the movement thing, movement is like an easier thing to learn. Like, you can learn, like, where you can't move and whatnot, but knowing where your crosshair is a really hard thing. Obviously, your movement's easy. It's, oh, I gotta stop. You gotta stop. You can't just be, like, making weird, unless you have aimbot flusha. Anyways, guys, I hope if this video helps you out in any way, shape, or form, you give it a like. If it didn't help you out and you think it's stupid, you should subscribe to see if any of my other tips I might have coming up are any less stupid. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.